Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 and the start of a brand new series where we're going to take over Manchester United Legends side in the Legends database that I used for an experiment recently, and it's going to be a Journeyman style playthrough. Now the idea behind this is a series like this could only ever run for a maximum of 10-15 years to get any value out of it, because a lot of these Legends aren't actually wonderkids. A lot of them are about 25 years old and then younger, so about 10 years from now a lot of them will be retiring or getting to that age, and then the save will start to lose its impetus. So the way that I'm going to play this is try and manage as many different clubs as I can, try and experience as many Legends as I can, and just try and jump through the different leagues, different teams, trying to win as many competitions as humanly possible. That was the idea behind playing with Manchester United. They're a team that I do enjoy playing with in Football Manager just because they have a good existing team. But they have unlimited resources to bring in new players as well, and they just seem to have a default bias in the game in my experience. They always do well no matter what is going on, so they'd be a fun team to take on in the Premier League. It is going to be a tough league. The league is full of Legends, but you can see on the screen what my Manchester United team looks like at the moment. We've got Bobby Charlton, George Best, Duncan Edwards, Dennis Law, Ryan Giggs, Peter Schmeichel, Paul Scholes, Ferdinand Beckham's in there, Hughes, Cantona, Yapstam, Andy Cole. I don't actually know how I'm going to fit all of these incredible players into the team. It helps that there's a bit of age variance, so some of them are wonder kids that won't be expecting to play every week. But I'm going to have to try and devise a system that I can use here to get the most out of this team. And then hopefully we'll be able to bring in a few more Legends as well to add to the strength and depth of the squad. But if we sort them by a squad kind of listing, you can see goalkeeping looks pretty good. Peter Schmeichel will be there for the entire save. And centre-back, we've got Steve Bruce, Rio Ferdinand, Yapstam. It's a good set of defenders there with Gary Neville on the right. Dennis Irwin can obviously play at left-back as well. And then a couple more defenders just to flesh that out, really. So it looks pretty well suited to a flat back four with Roger Byrne in there at left back as well. And then across the midfield we've got Darren Fletcher, Roy Keane in there, Brian Robson as well, Paul Scholes. We have a lot of good central midfielders, but we've also got Ryan Giggs and David Beckham in there as well, who can play on the wings. George Best, of course, can also play on either wing. So I imagine I might actually go for a traditional 4-4-2 actually with this team. That might make it difficult to get the best out of George Best. But we do have Dennis Law, Mark Hughes, Andy Cole, George Best and Eric Cantona, who can all play up front. So two strikers would actually suit this team pretty well. And we don't have a lot of attacking central midfielders other than Brian Robson, really. Bobby Charlton, of course, can play there. But they'd be just as good in central midfield. So it's going to be interesting. I'll probably pick a couple of tactics, maybe one with 5 in midfield and one with 4 in midfield, taking this forward, and I'll try and figure out what the best way to go is there. But if you just look at the scouting screen, there is an awful lot or if we can get into the actual players. I really don't like the new scouting system. If we can get to the actual player list, there are a lot of players here who are open to transfers. We've got Stanley Matthews we could pick up, Gordon Banks in there. We don't have a huge transfer budget, it's just 25 million, but I can imagine possibly selling a couple of Legends from the team we've got at the moment. Roberto Carlos there as well. I'd probably look to sign the likes of Pele if I could as well. But there are so many great players that there is a lot of scope to improve in this team. If we look at the staff, I don't think the staff are necessarily Legends. If we look at all coaching staff, no, it's the existing staff setup. So obviously United have about 6 million scouts, which will definitely be useful. Brian Kidd, the current assistant manager, will probably keep his job. He's got decent player ability and potential. I mean, his ability is a bit poor actually. I might well replace Brian Kidd. He is 68 years old. He will retire soon. But otherwise, the rest of the backroom isn't too bad at United. There are a few areas it could improve. Looking ahead at the season itself, we've got pre-season already set up. I'm happy with this pre-season, to be honest. There's no long gaps between games. And I might scrap the Getafe game just because I don't like having one that close to a match against Real Madrid in the European Super Cup. Not sure why we're playing in the European Super Cup, but there you are. Although actually we won the... No, that's why we're playing in it, because we won the Europa League the season before this, didn't we? And then Everton, Leeds, Leicester, Arsenal to kick the season off. Worth noting that the league has been changed to bring in a lot of the Legends teams. So Nottingham Forest to have a lot of Legends, Leeds, Aston Villa are up there, Wolves are up there, and you only have to look at the Leeds side to know why they're here. They've got so many great players in there. They've even got Jack Charlton in there, David Patty's in there, Gordon Strachan, Gary McAllister, even Harry Kewell, Mark Viduka back in there. They're a good, strong side, this Leeds team. But Liverpool, I imagine, are going to be possibly our biggest threat because they've got Bob Paisley in charge. But when you look at their team by value, Kevin Keegan, Dalglish in there, Ian Rush, Owen, Hansen, Fowler, the great teams of the 80s and 90s there, all available to Bob Paisley, and he is going to do excellent things with them, I have no doubt. But also I think Arsenal are going to be a really tough team to manage because they've got Arsene Wenger in charge, but then they've also got players like Thierry Henry. They've got the Invincibles basically back in the team. Bergkamp, Pires, Wright, Vieira, Tony Adams is back there, Martin Keown's back there, David Seaman in goal, Gilberto Silva even. And if they could win a league unbeaten, there's no doubt they were going to push us quite hard. So I'm not necessarily expecting the title this season. Obviously, I'm going to go for it. We should be winning it with the team that we've got. And it'll be interesting to see how the Champions League progresses as well. If you are looking forward to the series, do drop a like on the video. It was heavily requested that I do a new series and that I do a Legends series, so I thought I was just going to combine the two. This isn't going to be the most consistent series necessarily. The schedule for the channel is there will be an experiment every 2 days, and this series is going to drop in and out as I kind of want to play it, because I've kind of lost my interest in playing Football Manager at the moment, so I've been conserving it. But this is an exciting day space that I do want to try on, so make sure you subscribe. I imagine these videos will be coming out every couple of days, every 2-3 days. The play style is going to be that I'm just going to go through the boring bits, and then when we have huge matches or something happens, I'll record it as I go, include it in the videos. And so the videos won't be like my previous seasons where you've seen every game. Instead, this is going to be key matches through the season, probably about 8 videos a season, I would imagine, something around that number. So you won't be sitting through all of the really boring stuff, it'll just be the interesting stuff. Obviously pre-season, quite important. First match is quite important as well, just to see how the team are gelling, and then we'll go forward a little bit quicker there. So today I think we're just going to go through pre-season. We might even get to the Real Madrid game, but I'll keep you up to date with the transfers as they happen. But do drop a like on this video if you're excited for a new series to be on the channel, and I'll see you in a minute. Well, we are now through pre-season. We're about to take on Real Madrid in the European Super Cup. You can see Real Madrid, the clear and obvious favourites for this game. They have an incredible team. But going out there today, the two tactics that I've picked for this, I've got a flat 4-4-2, which is what I talked about at the start of the episode, because I think it suits the likes of our flat back four, and Beckham and Giggs also on each side of midfield. We don't have that many great attack midfielders, although that has left Bobby Charlton and George Best both sitting on the bench for this one. But we've got Cantona and Law, the two players up front at the moment. I think they can do great things. Law has been fantastic in pre-season, as has Ryan Giggs, getting lots of goals between them using this tactic. The other tactic that I've picked is a 4-2-3-1, which does rely more on attacking midfielders. So I can imagine out up front we could well have the likes of Mark Hughes, Cantona, Law could all play there. Giggs and Beckham will probably play on the wings. George Best would also be out there, and then Bobby Charlton would be in this attacking midfield role, with possibly Keane and Scholes maybe in central midfield. Obviously we have so many options that it could be anyone playing there. I really like this back four. There's no intention to change this, with Neville, Ferdinand, Stam and Byrne in there. Schmeichel will be in goal the whole time as well. We do have the likes of Dennis Irwin on the bench if we need him. But at the moment, this is the team I'm going to put out there. This is not as attacking as the other tactic. The other one's a lot more aggressive. These are a couple of tactics that I picked up on FM Scout, so go over there and search for tactics, and you will find these two tactics. I hate creating tactics in Football Manager. I am dreadful at it, and I've never really figured out how to do it properly. But if you know of a tactic that you think would work better for me, do leave a link down in the description. Just having a look at the squad schedule, you can see pre-season went very well. We beat Slovan Bratislava 4-0. We then beat Liège 6-2. Incredible result there, a lot of good players getting goals. 2-2 draw with Bayern Munich, but we actually did really well to come from 2-0 down to level that up at half-time. Andy Cole and Mark Hughes with the goals. Beat Ajako 4-0, Beckham on the score sheet there. 5-1 over Kichi and 3-1 over Nantes. It's been a very good pre-season, but this is the real test now. Real Madrid in a competitive game. They are probably one of, if not the best team in the entire world with this database. It's going to be a really, really tough match. I don't know if we can just have a quick look at the Real Madrid squad to give you an idea of how good they are. And you can see here, if we sort them by value, Di Stefano, Puskas, Zidane, Roberto Carlos in there. They've got an unbelievably good squad, a lot of valuation in there, and just really, really dangerous. We need to be at our best to get a result today. But I'm quite confident with the team we've got going out there that we will get the run. I will do a kind of live com chat over this game, and that's probably how I'll do most of these games in this series, is probably a live chat. I think I am going to record the first few games of the season in the next episode, and that will be a more traditional format for me. But you can see the team we're up against here. Puskas up front, Di Stefano behind him, Gento and Amancio on the wings, Piri and Zaraga in midfield with Camacho, Hierro, Sanchez, Salgado in defence. A lot of the real Galacticos in this team, and Alonso in goal. I think actually we could be the better team on paper, but this is going to be a really, really tough game. I'm going to tell the team I expect them to come back with a trophy. No real reaction there. I'm not going to mess around with anything else. But let's get this game kicked off as Puskas sends it back to Di Stefano. I've never looked at this database in the 3D match engine, so I'm quite excited to see how the players actually perform out here, and if you could possibly see some of the characteristics and traits that they have. But Real Madrid dominating possession at the moment. It's Di Stefano forward to Zaraga. Now Puskas loses out. Stam clears it away, as Jaap Stam always did. I'm not sure why Stam is at United. I know he ended his career there, but it's not exactly like that was where he spent his entire career. But I won't complain. Jaap Stam and Rio Ferdinand in central defence is an incredible partnership. At the moment, though, not too much happening. We've got a corner. Ryan Giggs on this one, out swinging into the middle. It's come away there. Real Madrid clearing it. And now Amancio is on the counter-attack. He's got 3 players to his left. They've got huge numbers over there. And he beats the defender, puts it across. It's Gento in there, puts it into Di Stefano, down to Zanega, Amancio following up, and Schmeichel can't keep it out. And we have fallen a goal behind very, very early on. I'm not sure why we've got extended highlights, but it's actually ruled out for offside. We're going to go to key highlights. Just knock up the match speed during the highlights as well, because this has been incredibly slow so far. Beckham now on the attack down the line. Dennis Law's in there. He's got his strike partner Canantana up there, but it's saved by Alonso. We were quite lucky not to concede early on there. Dennis Law's in again though. Loses out to Camacho, gets the ball back, puts it into David Beckham. Header in, cleared out to Paul Scholes. Goes for goal, and he's just gone wide there. Paul Scholes, famous for those goals outside of the area. If this is now key highlights, there are being a lot of key highlights in this game. I'm going to turn replays off as well, because I don't think they're actually that important. But Piri plays it forward to Puskas, into Zanega, and Schmeichel comfortably able to take that one. It was straight at him, but the game really hotting up here. We've had 5 shots already. Ferdinand gets his first yellow card. I'm sure there will be many more of those to come. Free kick from Puskas, short to Gento, and Schmeichel forced to tip that one over the top there. But this has been a real game so far. Puskas with the corner, puts it in, and Di Stefano, Schmeichel comes out and claims that. He is massive, Peter Schmeichel. Ferdinand out wide to Byrne. Now Edwards down to Giggs. Great position, pace on him there. Puts it in, Law's in there, and it's off the crossbar. Ryan Giggs there showing the pace that he's got. Especially at such a young age. Great being able to play him on the left flank instead of in central midfield, which is where he retired eventually. But it's great to have Giggs, Scholes and Beckham in a team. We've got Edwards playing in central midfield at the moment as well. Not sure if that's where I'm going to settle on him, because he can play up front, I think, as well. But we've got another free kick here. Half an hour gone as Byrne finds Edwards. Now Scholes plays the ball onto Cantona. He puts it in again. Dennis Law's in on goal, and Dennis Law gets the first goal of the game and the first goal for us in this series. It is 1-0. Dennis Law with an excellent finish there, linking up with Cantona. And we do have the lead against Real Madrid as Piri finds Zaraga. Edwards has won it though. We're looking much the better team here. Cantona, not totally match fit, finds Law again, who's in on goal. Dennis Law makes it 2-0. 2 goals in about a minute for Dennis Law. There's a reason I picked him over the other great strikers we have in our team, and that's one of them. He has been so clinical in pre-season, and we need to replace Eric Cantona now. And given he's a target man, I'm not entirely sure who to bring on. I might bring Andy Cole on up front because he can certainly play there, and I'm interested to see how Andy Cole does. He's not played much in pre-season, but it's going to be interesting. He's not necessarily the best of the strikers, I don't think, but you can see Camacho bringing the ball out for Real Madrid. Still 5 minutes till half-time. Neville flying into a tackle there. Here's Piri into Puskás. Across to Piri again. Plays the ball in behind for Puskás once more. He's in on goal. Across to Amancio. Puskás so unselfish there. Squared the ball across the 6-yard box. And it is now 2-1. Poor defending, really, that we weren't able to cut that ball out. But we do have a game on our hands once more after Dennis Law gave us 2 goals. I'm pretty happy with this performance. I was not expecting to win this game. The fact that we're 2-1 up and we're 2-0 up is really impressive, especially with this bit more defensive formation, which I think I'm going to stick to until full time. But at the moment, things looking reasonably good. We've got Beckham on a free kick, as you would expect, and Stamm just putting that over the top. He did have a free header, but he was quite far out. It was always going to be tough. You can see on the average ratings, our attack's doing very well, especially Dennis Law. But the defence, not quite that highly rated. Dennis Law's picked up a yellow card for something now. Byrne heads it forward. Here's Dennis Law turning, running, puts it over the top. Andy Cole is in behind, and Andy Cole can't beat Alonso in goal. And it will be a corner to be taken by Beckham, I imagine. Outswinger puts it in towards the middle, and it's down by Cole, but they get it away. Giggs following up, good position, puts it in, and it's cleared out by Piri. And this time Real Madrid do get the ball away, but Ferdinand cleans up. 30 minutes left. Beckham puts it in. It's cleared out again. Gento down the line to Puskás. Plays it across to Di Stefano. He's charging at the defence who are backing off, but he's put it wide. What a dangerous strike partnership to have there, Puskás and Di Stefano. Puskás puts it in. Edwards has missed it, and Hierro nearly scored there. It's gone wide. He must have hit his own player, but Fernando Hierro nearly getting the equaliser there. You've got to put a couple of players on last legs, and I think I'd like to give George Best a little bit of a run around up front for Dennis Law. I'm also going to bring Roy Keane on for Edwards in midfield because we need a tough tackler now in midfield. But only 20 minutes left to go. We're doing all right. Finally, Real Madrid starting to make some substitutions. Marquitos coming on, but just 10 minutes left to play. Real Madrid have had a lot of efforts and not done anything. Roberto Carlos and Redondo now on the pitch for Real Madrid. A lot of defensive substitutions. They're not able to change their strikers like we are. Giggs into Cole. He's got Best up there, but Cole goes for it well over the bar. 2-1 at the moment. It looks like we might be about to win the European Super Cup, which was not what I expected, but it's very, very well received if we manage to do it. 3 minutes of added time to see out. And there is a corner from Roberto Carlos. Ferdinand gets away. George Best can now counter. He is one of the greatest players in this Legends database. Cole was there, but the keeper managed to get there first. But that should be pretty much full time. They're trying to get it forward. Puskás has it, beats one defender, goes for goal, and Schmeichel takes a catch. That will be the full-time whistle. A 2-1 win over Real Madrid. We can be very happy with that. Setting us up well for the rest of the season. Giggs beats the fullback, puts it into Cole, and Andy Cole gets the header. I brought him on because I wanted to see what he could do, and that's what he can do. A perfect header there into the bottom corner. We thought it was going to finish 2-1, but a last-second goal from Andy Cole makes it 3-1. Giggs with the assist as well, and we really do look absolutely world-class. There's the full-time whistle. A great 3-1 win for us. There's the celebrations. Red and black ticker tape coming down onto the pitch. But we've managed to do it. 3-1, excellent performances. Man of the match in that game must have been Dennis Law. Pretty sure it was. There you go. Dennis Law, man of the match for his 2 goals. Andy Cole with 1 as well. And the perfect start to a season. I am very happy with that. And if we just go back to the club. You can see there, 3-1 win over them. We've lifted the European Super Cup, £3.5 million for doing it as well. Now, just a quick look at transfers before we end this experiment. I have brought a couple of people in, and that is Ivan Rakitic and Dries Mertens, both coming in dirt cheap because I don't have a transfer budget. I've only got about £15 million left. And these two are about 17 years old. They'll just sit in the under-23s this season. You can see they're improving already. Most of the players in this game cost anywhere between 50 and 150 million pounds, so I literally can't sign anyone at the moment, not with the wage demands and the agents' fees and everything else. But if you do have suggestions for players who are going to be very, very cheap at this point, do let me know in the comments. If there are big names that you would really love to see me sign, do leave those in the comments as well. And possibly in January or next season, I will start to pick some of the really big names up when I've got a budget. But this season, I just don't have a transfer budget. You can see so far, though, Dennis, our Law top scorer, a great little set of pictures here. Roy Keane with the best pass completion because he came off the bench. But next time we will probably take on Everton and Leeds, possibly Leicester as well. And you will see all of those games because I think it's worth you seeing how the team are doing early on. I imagine for the game against Everton, I might leave the same tactic we use this time because Everton are a good team. We are away from home. If you just have a look at that Everton senior squad, you can see they've got likes of Dixie D and Alan Ball in there. It's a really strong side and we are going to have to play well. So I might stick to the tactic that just beat Real Madrid as we're away from home, and then maybe switch to the other tactic for Leeds and possibly Leicester as well. But that is going to be it for this episode. Do drop a like on the video if you're looking forward to this new series. Make sure to subscribe as well for the future parts as and when they come out. And like I said before, let me know in the comments for ideas of players that you would like to see me sign. But until next time, see ya!